Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, and today I'm continuing my playthrough of Skies Above Britain. We are up to patrol number 5 of chapter 1, so let's get into it. First thing I'm going to do is roll for our random event. We are using the random events optional rule. So again, chapter 1 events. And we have an 8, which is air firing program. Haven't got that one yet, so let's see what that is. Air firing program. In this patrol, add +1 as a die roll modifier each time you make a catastrophic effect check. This lasts only for this patrol. That's pretty nice. All right, next we need to figure out who's going to be flying on this patrol and assign them to their aircraft. So we had these guys that were all fatigued from the previous, last patrol. They were fatigued, so we didn't send them. They're all just regular now, non-fatigued regular pilots. But some of these guys now, I believe, are fatigued. So let's see who that's going to be. Well, Childers would have been fatigued, but he died. Fulbrook is in the hospital. Irwin is also in the hospital. Kershaw, he's fatigued. Miller, Northcott, and White is in the hospital, I think. No, where is White? Oh, White had to bail out. That's right. Okay. So he's going to be sitting out. So he won't be fatigued, but he can't go on this patrol. All right. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9 openings and only 5 pilots to fill them. Yikes. I think we're going to just kind of randomize these here a little bit. We'll fill up red section. We'll fill up green section. I think yellow section's going to not fly. We'll move Jap over to blue 3. And then we're just going to have to use one of these fatigued pilots. We'll use Miller. Is there a way to mark if they're fatigued? I don't see any markers for that, so unless it's on the back. No, the back of these is veteran, right? Yeah. I guess we'll put him upside down to show that he's fatigued. Because that is going to have an effect. See exactly what those effects are. All right, so my pilot is fatigued. Remains fatigued until rested. To rest, a pilot must not fly one patrol. Sitting out in the bailout or hospital boxes also counts as resting. A fatigued pilot suffers -1 die roll modifier when making hit checks, fate checks, and collision checks. And then if he flies on 4 consecutive patrols, he automatically goes to the hospital. He's exhausted. So we need to remember that for Miller. hit checks, fate checks, and collision checks. -1 die roll modifier. All right. Let's see. There was some sort of thing too about where was that at? I think that was in the situation manual. Something about a squadron being withdrawn under certain circumstances. Oh yeah, that's what it is, yeah. You have to have at least 3 non-green pilots. And you must fly at least a flight in each patrol. Which we're doing. We're actually flying 3 sections. And if we don't satisfy both of those criteria, then we get rotated off the front line and the chapter ends. If that happens twice, you're transferred to another command. So, don't have to worry about that quite yet. All right, so we got our pilots assigned. We determined our random event. I think now we can check for our guys in the hospital to see if they come back. White will come back after bailing out, so he'll be ready for next time. All right, let's check Bailey. He's been in there what seems like forever. And again, we need a 9 through 12 for them to come back. Nope, still in the hospital. How about Ox Spring? Oh, discharge. Yikes. Irwin. There we go. Irwin's back in action for the next patrol. Fullbrook. Yes, he comes back as well. And Rathbone stays in the hospital. All right, now we're short 4 pilots. So hopefully at the end of this patrol, we'll be able to get some reinforcements. All right, I think we're ready to determine our starting position. I'll find my little sheet. Here it is. Whoops. Throwing stuff all over the place. So 1 to 5, we're deep. 6 to 7, we're middle. 8 or higher, we go on the coast, but have to spend 3 fuel. So 5 is going to put us deep again. I haven't managed to get that middle result yet. Okay, and then our visibility right here. Red die for visibility, blue die for sun location. We got a 3 and an 8. So 3 is going to be clear sun, and 8 will be starboard. So clear with sun, and the sun is at starboard. Okay, we've got our starting fuel all set. Decks are all shuffled. I think we're ready. Raid vector sequence, starting with, you know what, I'm just going to start using the one on the board here. I think it'll be a little easier. So we got the reveal step of the raid vector sequence. got flak and a raid result right off the bat. So flak 2. Got a fuselage. And another fuselage with drop them out on a 12, although we'll get a +1 to that, so 11 or higher will drop them out. All right, then we have a tally-ho opportunity, which we will take advantage of. Spend a fuel. Actually, don't need yellow's fuel cube. And we will move to the middle. Go ahead and take yellow off of the squadron display as well. All right, and then the raid result brings the raid marker down. Just realized there's a channel bailout there. I might have to go back and see if anyone, I think, who was it? White was the only one that bailed out. I'll need to see when he went to the fate box. If this was here when he did, he's going to have to do a channel bailout check as well. All right, then that completely resolves that one. Then we have a weather change, which, if I remember correctly, yeah, it goes to haze, and then if it's already haze, then it goes to clouds. So we now have haze. All right, and that concludes that. So let's go to the fuel step. So we'll spend a fuel. Contact. Do we want to make contact here? Oh, you know what? I forgot before this weather thing. When the raid marker came out, we should have, since it was sun, we should have placed the escorts, I believe. Visibility is clear. Place escort station markers. Yes, so let's take care of that. So we'll at least be able to make a more intelligent decision on whether we want to attempt contact here. So yeah, let's roll our die, see what we get. 12 would be nice. 3. Ugh, got that. Same one we had last time. 109's heavy in the high station. And 110's in the low station. Don't like that. So, do we want to attempt contact from here? So we're in an adjacent zone. So we'd have to spend a fuel. And then depending on what we roll, could end up trailing low, which I think is terrible. Yeah, especially with the escort in the high station, we'd be needing a 12. And then even if we suppress them, we'd still need a 10 from the low station. But then we could spend the fuel to go tail low. So basically, I think our worst case scenario is assuming, I mean, we'd be willing to spend the fuel for sure. So So we're looking at tail low, flank low, or nose high. So tail low, we'd be looking at 11, and then we got 110s in the low, is it the low? Yeah. So we'd be looking at 11 and 6. So that would be a decent suppression possibility there, if we could do that. Ideally, if we could come out of flank low, we'd be low though. So we need to be flank high to come out of the sun. So that was flank low, tail low. Tail low, we're looking at this. Flank low, we're looking at this. And then nose high would actually be pretty good. We'd be looking at this, 6 or 2. That's only if we roll a 9 through 12. I mean, we're down a section. If we wait, we might be, we'd have to get lucky and get, another one like this, basically, where this happens first, which would give us a tally-ho option before the raid result. And I don't know if there is another one of those. Because it's pretty likely the second raid result's going to be in there. But by the same token, if we don't do this, if we don't contact now, then we're going to have the option to vector, which means we could move here and go high altitude. Then there's a good chance they'll drop the bombs first. It's a tough choice. The other thing to consider is if we do get, I guess worst case scenario, we get tail low. Then we'd be trying to suppress the 109s in the high position from tail low, which, I mean, that just determines whether or not we get an RF advantage or not. But and then we'd be looking at, again, for our suppression check, needing an 8 or higher to suppress them. I think we wait. Just don't want to get in that situation where we aren't able to contact the raid at all. So we will not contact, which means we go to the vector step, which allows us to, we can either go high or move without spending fuel, or we can do both and spend fuel. So I'm going to do both. Oops, and spend a fuel. All right. Then next, we loop back up to the top of the RAID vector sequence and reveal more markers. Let's see if we made a good decision. Okay, straggler, we're ignoring that. Weather and Messerschmitts. I don't like that. So now the sun's gone. And Messerschmitts. So we have to choose a section to get jumped by Messerschmitts. So if it's a 10 through 12, we'll re-roll. It's a 4, which is going to be green section. These are 109s. Ignore that. Head on with a rota. Okay, moment of truth. Head on section against 109s. Someone goes loose. We have a collision check and they vanish. All right, so let's do the collision check. Well, first we have to see who's doing the collision check, because if it's Miller, he gets a +1. So it is in fact Miller. So collision check, safe, and then who goes loose? Miller. Okay, makes sense. He had to dodge that possible collision and fell out of formation. So he is lost contact. And this vanishes. So the others remain in contact, but we lost Miller. Okay. Back to revealing. Oh, there it is. So turn point, let's see. It makes the sun move. I think if the sun's not out, though, something else happens, obviously. Yeah, if there's no sun, the visibility becomes clear. And then we roll for the sun location. Right here. So it's back at starboard. Okay. Got that placed back out there. And the bombs drop. So this gets moved onto the turn track. All of these go away. And that ends the reveal step. So now we go to fuel. Oh, and blue section was supposed to spend an extra fuel for that Messerschmitt's result. All right, and now we will make contact. So we are in the same zone. This is still considered part of the coast zone. So Let's check our contact table. We're over here now. We're in the same zone, and we get +1 modifier because we are high. We get a 3, which goes to a 4, so flank low, or we can adjust to flank high or nose high. And we will adjust to flank high. We spend an extra fuel and come in flank high because that way we're out of the sun. And since we chose to make contact, this is something I forgot to do last time. It didn't end up having any effect, but anyone that's lost contact when you make contact with the raid, immediately RTBs. So we don't have to worry about Miller being fatigued any longer. His patrol is over. I guess it was good for him to just act as sort of a decoy for those Messerschmitts. All right. Anything else that happens? Yes, it's not cloudy, so we immediately determine the bomber formation. So as usual, we'll do red dye for the bomber type and blue dye for the configuration. And 7 is going to be Junkers, and 6 is going to be this configuration here. So let me get that set up and I'll be right back. All right, so there's our bomber formation. Get these out of the way. All right, so that's going to immediately end the raid vector sequence, and we drop down to the interception sequence, starting with the orders phase. So let's take a look at whether we want to try to suppress those escorts. Something on my player aid. Okay, so we're coming in flank high. So we're going to be dealing with these guys and these guys. So it would definitely be, and we are going to be out of the sun, so we get to roll 2 dice. But still with a 10. So the thing is, we're not going to get points for isolating this time. We've only got 3 sections, so do we want to devote 2 of the fighters? Probably send green section to do this if we do it, to try to suppress them, and then only have 6 fighters, or do we risk not being able to intercept the raid at all? I mean, we still have a good possibility of that, because even if we do send them, we're only looking at being able to suppress them on an 8 or maybe a 7 if they manage to get a kill. So is it worth sending 2 fewer fighters against the bombers to do that? We're coming out of the sun, so we get to roll 2 dice. We get a re-roll. Need a 10 or higher. I think we just take our chances and send everyone against the bombers. Speaking of which, I need to apply this flak, so let's do that now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Blue die will be which one? So 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 8 is going to be the middle one. So they get that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops, can't see them. 1. And 12 is going to be this guy. So then we roll for the catastrophic. And remember, you get a +1 to that roll because of our random event. And no. That would have been helpful. All right, so we're just going to send everyone after the bombers. Ignore the escorts. So, flank high. We're looking at these two numbers, so we use the higher. So we need a 10 or more. We're coming out of the suns. We get to roll 2 dice, and we can re-roll if we need to. So 2 dice, looking for a 10 or higher. There it is. Nice. So this comes off of the interception map. And our bombers, or our fighters, enter the bomber area, coming in from starboard. So we go to the approach. Decide where we want to do this. We definitely want to focus on these ones that already have some damage. So let's go here. And let's go here. And then probably just focus on these 2 tiles. Let's send these other 2 after this one, I guess. They're coming in from starboard, even though it looks like they're angling in from the tail. All right, so we're going to start here. Because then if this one gets isolated, we still got all of these on this one. So I'll start with the one with the fewest. Let me get the medium bomber deck. Do a quick little shuffle. I did shuffle it beforehand, but just a couple more times and then a cut. All right, so we've got, who is that way down there? Green 3. Up here on starboard or port, and all it does is disrupt. Okay, then we've got green leader. And now we're down here. He gets a damage result, low ammo, and distress on a 7. Not quite enough for that. So low ammo. And a damage. And remember, we don't get any points for isolating this time since they've already dropped their bombs. Ooh, it's a wing, possibly catastrophic. We get a +1 to that roll, so 11 or 12. No. All right. He's done. And then red 3. Excuse me. Damage. Low ammo, and then 6 is going to be enough because that, I guess it depends on what happens. I mean, he's either we're going to destroy it or he'll fall out. So let's give him the low ammo. See what the damage is. It's a wing with dropping out on an 11, but we don't need to roll because we do have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he will fall out. We'll drop him over here. Like that. All right. Now, moving on to this tile. Let's start with blue 3. You know what? Let's actually start with red leader. Up here, starboard report. We don't have a green pilot. Damage, low ammo, and distress on a, not distress, disruption on a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the damage will make 7. So they will disrupt. Low ammo. Even if it drops them or destroys them, it'll still be enough. It's just a wing. But that will isolate this tile then. Red 2. Isolated tile now. Hits the dorsal gunner and drops out on a 5, which will happen. Goes low ammo. So dorsal gunner hit. Low ammo. And fallen bomber. All right, and we got blue 3, isolated tile, starboard report, dorsal gunner, low ammo, drops on a 7. Might be enough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just one short. Low ammo. Move completely off the tile. All right, then blue leader. There it is. He doesn't get a damage though. So green pilot takes a hit, no. Low ammo and distress on 5, which will distress it. Actually, both of these then become lone bombers. Oops. Junkers, not Hunkles. Okay, we'll just throw him up over there. And he goes low ammo. All right, and then blue 2. We're on a lone bomber tile now. No green pilot, so no hit against us, damage, and low ammo. engine. It's not the second one, right? No, that was a fuselage. Okay, that'll do it for the first pass through there. We managed to not take any return fire, so nothing to do for hit check. We resume, which takes us back into the intercept phase, but we have no more orders to resolve, so then we go to the entropy phase, right back to the bomber formation. Actually, they would have disengaged first, but... All right, so we definitely want to focus on these three and see if we have enough left over to deal with that. We're definitely not going to be doing anything with them. Not anytime soon, at least. And so let's see. We'll come in from the flank again. Although a couple of these do have tail gunners that are disabled. Then we've got potentially quite a bit of escort reaction, so they'd probably end up knocking them off anyway. And we'd basically lose a round. So yeah, let's just come in from, we'll spin around and come in this direction. Let's do a couple on there just for some backup. Same thing here. Then that leaves 3 for this one, which is 1 for backup. I'd rather do that than risk one of them missing and then we don't get it down. So hopefully 2 of them won't miss. All right. Oh, we still got this guy too. I guess we can get started on this one. Maybe he'll get a lucky shot in. Heck, let's do him first. That's Blue Leader. Lone Bomber. Damage and low ammo, so he is out. Let's see if he can get a cockpit strike. Or a catastrophic. Well, possibly. Fuselage 11, we get a +1, so we need a 10 or higher. Ooh, nope. All right. And we've got Blue 3. Dorsal gunner. And low ammo. So he is out, but that destroys it. So credit who is that? Blue 3 is Jap. Credit Jap with a bomber kill. And 1 for the patrol. Chapter 1, Patrol 5. All right, still have to draw a card for Blue 2. And nothing happens. Well, they do go low ammo, so they're out of ammo. But at least they don't take return fire. Been very kind with the return fire results so far. Of course, I probably just jinxed myself. All right, so they're over there. Let's bring these guys down. Need one of these guys to get a hit or a damage. Hopefully not a hit. There it is. Dorsal gunner and low ammo, so he's out. And splash another one. is Green Leader, which is you, Upchurch. So Upchurch with his third bomber kill. Look at him go. We've got 3 now with 3 bomber kills. Grigsby, Timmons, and Upchurch. 2 more and they get an ace. Second of the patrol. So 2 victory points so far. Card for Green 3. No harm to him. And then let's see if we can get this third one down. So Red 3 gets another dorsal gunner hit and out of ammo. I suppose I should start looking at who's close to getting an ace, and then prioritize them for the kill shots. Let's see. Did I put it on? Yeah, put the damage on already. Then we've got Red Leader. Oh, there's our first return fire. But he does finish him off. So Red Leader, piloted by Hooley. That's his third bomber kill. And third of the patrol. Then he takes some return fire. Still has ammo though. It is a hit, and it's an engine 5. And then we got to pull a card for Red 2. And just a green pilot takes a hit, so nothing there. All right, we disengage and do hit checks. So 5 for Hooley. Yes, trivial. Okay. That concludes the bomber cycle. So then we cycle back to the entropy phase for escort reaction. Oh boy. Okay, there's no clouds, so we don't have to worry about that. There is going to be an ambush though. Well, at least it's only 1 from each. So we get 1 help arrives from the high section, which is going to be heavy 109s. And then 1 from the low section, which will be 110s. So let me draw the cards for those. This will be the one for the 109s. This will be the one for the 110s. And let's see who gets them. 11's too high. 3 is going to be this one, so he'll have to deal with the 109s. And see, we're down to, no, we still have 7. Okay. 9's too high. 11's too high. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will have to deal with the 110s. Let me just slide these out of the way for the time being. we'll fight those here. And this one's heavy, remember, if that matters. It does. So tailed by a swarm and head on with a rota. So we do the head on first. And it's single fighter against 109s. They vanish and we take a hit, which means we cannot maneuver. It's a fuselage 10. Uh-oh. And then for the tailed, where are we at here? Single fighter 109s hit and they are reduced. So another hit. Which is another 10 on the elevator. All right, so red die will be for the fuselage, blue die for the elevator. We need them both to be 10 or higher. Well, the red was, so the fuselage was trivial, but the elevator was not. So he goes to the elevator fate box. And if he had shaken those both off, he would have become lost contact because he didn't shake the dogfight in the first round. Then we have who is this? Blue or red 2 against 110s. Head on with a rota. Hunt in the sun. It is an escort station, so it must be in the sun, and this is the low station, which is not in the sun, so we don't have to do that. So it's just head on with a rota. And head on, boom, boom. Ooh, we get a kill. And go low ammo, and then they vanish. So he's out of ammo, but credit 1 kill to the pilot of Red 2, which is Grigsby, with an escort kill. Just need one more for another victory point. All right, quick correction here. I read this card wrong. I forgot this was against 110s. I need to check last patrol too. I might have made the same mistake because I'm so used to looking at the 109 column. So that should have been vanish and low ammo, but no damage. So did not get a escort kill there for Grigsby. So we'll take that back off. All right, so that concludes the help arrives step. Then we look to see if anyone is reduced and it's only port station, no one is there. And then shifting ahead would go to starboard, doesn't affect anyone. And then we have our ambush with a 110. So let's see, who does that target? Okay, so priority for the ambush would be to a section that has lost contact excuse me, followed by an RAF fighter that has lost contact, and if neither of those, then an RAF fighter in the bomber formation area. So it looks like this can just be anyone again. So let's get everybody back down here and see who's going to get this one. So what do we got? 7 here, so 1 through 7. Not 8. 2. Whoops. So this one. Green leader. I need to remember this is a 110. Use the right column. All right, so let's draw a Luftwaffe Advantage card for that. Tailed, this only applies to a section and a green pilot. So we're tailed by a swarm of 110s. Seems like a good time to evade with no ammo. All right, 110, so we're over here. Lone fighter. I guess we should have turned. Look at that. 2 hits or 2 hits. Yikes. Do not like that. We will get the automatic reduction for evading. Yeah, 2 hits. Ouch. First one is a wing 7. Second one is a wing 4. All right, let's make both of these trivial. So red for the first one, blue for the second one. Well, we passed the second one, but not the first. So goes into the wing box. Again, had we managed to survive that, we would have gone lost contact. All right, that concludes the escort reaction. Taking us to chase. We don't have anybody lost contact, so nothing to do there. Patrol is not complete. We burned fuel. Looks like, yeah, we still got all 3 of them out here, so they'll each burn a fuel. Escort recovery, nobody was suppressed. We'll check for escort exit on a 10, but only the 109s. The little number here is for 110s, so we'll check for escort exit for the 109s. No. No channel patrol yet. Reform, nothing to do. Raid vector. Oh, I need to put out my outbound vectors. Grab a few at random here. All right, so we're moving into here, and it's Messerschmitts. I don't think, can they target the bomber formation? I don't remember. Let's take a look. One section or RAF is attacked by 109s if a section expends a fuel. Who fights? Select a section at random. If none, select a fighter at random. Yeah, it doesn't say they can't be in the bomber formation. So once again, select a random fighter. I think we only have 6 now. So we can divide by 2. That will be Red Leader. 109s. This won't apply, so we're tailed by a swarm. Yeah, let's try a turn. So, lone fighter, tailed, wouldn't have mattered. Hit and reduced. Elevator 8. Oops. Off to the elevator fate box. Man, these escorts are tearing us up. All right. Let's swirl again as next, I think. Yep. So no orders, no intercept, entropy, bomber formation area. I think we're going to not risk losing anyone else and send everyone back. We'll have to be satisfied with only 3 victory points. So everyone's going to RTB. I guess the blue goes here. The rest go here. All right. There's no channel recovery here, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so then no reaction because there's no bombers in the, or fighters in the bomber formation area, no chase, patrol complete. Spend fuel, or actually patrol complete, yes, so then we just end. So we need to check our fate boxes. We have a green leader with a wing. Need a 9 or higher. Yes, good. Then we have a red leader with an elevator. Need an 8 or higher. Nope. Crashes. 4 or higher to bail out. Yes, he bails out. So that was red leader is Hooli. And then blue 2 needs an 8 or higher to land. 6, crash. 4 or higher to bail out. Yes, bailed out. So blue 2 is Ellsworth. All right, at least we didn't lose anybody. That will do it for that. We can go ahead and check our, no, we check them after we assign pilots. So I think that's all we need to do. We ended up with only 3 bomber kills, no escorts. So that's going to be 3 victory points. We had 2 pilots bailed out, none wounded, none killed. All right, so that puts us at 18, 19, 25, 28. 28. And we need... we need 31 for a successful patrol. So as long as we can get another 3 next time, we'll have at least 1 success under our belt. And if we get 2 successes or an excellent, then we'll win the campaign. All right. That is going to wrap things up for this episode. Again, if you saw anything I did wrong, I did do a couple things wrong, but I caught myself, so hopefully there weren't any others. Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode.